You're listening to Daily Sip with Marcel, giving you morning moments of insight, laughter, and a little something to stir the soul.
Yeah, I'm a little bit down this morning. Welcome back to Daily Sip with Marcel. It's the only podcast that runs on high-octane caffeine and the crushing realization that I have forgotten my Netflix password again. Yeah. Today is December 8th, 2025. Speaking of forgetting things, which, let's be honest, seems to be my superpower. We need to talk about a date you actually can't allow to slip into the lost car keys section of your brain. I'm talking about December 7th, my friends. Now, I know what you're thinking. Marcel, December is for panic buying holidays and eating too much cookies. And you're not wrong, my friends. But this specific date is the 84th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And looking ahead, next year is the big 85, the 85th anniversary. So consider this year the dress rehearsal for our collective memory. Okay? Let's rewind to 1941. It was a Sunday morning in Oahu, Hawaii. The sun was out, their birds were singing, and the U.S. Pacific Fleet was parked at Pearl Harbor because, geographically speaking, it was supposed to be a perfect, impenetrable fortress. The entrance was narrow, the water was shallow. Honestly, it was the military equivalent of locking your front door and assuming you're safe. But as history and my experience with locking myself out of my house teaches us, there's always a window open somewhere. Japan launched a surprise attack that quite literally shocked the nation. And they didn't just wing it. Admiral Yamamoto had his pilots practicing at a place called Kagoshima Bay in Japan because it was practically the twin sister of Pearl Harbor. And they did their homework. And because nobody is perfect, the Americans had a bit of a blind spot. The Japanese carriers snuck in from the north, hiding in a radar dead zone created by the mountains. To make matters worse, there were no surveillance planes up that morning. It was the ultimate case of letting your guard down on the weekend. The result was devastating. In less than 9 minutes, the USS Arizona was sunk, taking over 1,100 men with her. The USS Oklahoma took over 10 torpedoes, and in a twist of tragic bad luck, she was scheduled for an inspection that morning. So her portholes and hatches were open, making her sink even faster. By the time the smoke cleared, 2,388 Americans were killed and another 1,178 were wounded. 19 ships were sunk or damaged. It was a day that turned the world upside down. So why am I depressing you into a cappuccino, my friends? Because we have to remember this. We live in a world where I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but we owe it to those men and women to keep December 7th pinned to our mental corkboard. We have to honor the people who didn't get to see December 8th. Today, over 1.5 million people visit the USS Arizona Memorial every year to pay tribute. They go to stand over the wreckage and say, "We see you. We remember." If we let these dates fade, my friends, if we treat them like just another page on the calendar, we lose the map of how we got here. So, here's what I need to let you know today. If you keep hitting the snooze button and forgetting the past, you're eventually going to wake up and realize you're late for the future. Let's keep the memory sharp. 84 years ago, yesterday, we remember. You must remember. Yes. And next year, December 7th, remember. Please remember. Now, seriously, does anyone know where my car keys are? And, as always, thanks for spending part of your day with me. If today's sip gave you something to think about, smile about, or share, pass it on. Be sure to follow the show so we can keep sipping together. Until next time, I'm Marcel. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for letting me be part of your day. And until next time, keep noticing what makes life taste a little better. And if you're loving this, don't just sip in silence. Follow us, hit the subscribe button, and pour this into someone else's cup. Share it, spread it. Let's wake the world up together, one daily sip at a time.